Hey Coach, what's going on? It is Coach Beast here with another video. Have a really good one for you today. We're going to talk about the red flags to identify when you are selecting your assistant coaches. And this is super critical to your success as a football program, because if you got the wrong coaches in your program, no matter how much talent you got on the football field, they can sabotage your program and cause you to have a nightmare season before it even begins. So I'm going to help you identify the 4 red flags that I have seen in my 15 years of coaching, so you can avoid the same red flags that I had to in my football career. And so before we get into this video, do me a solid, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You'll be doing me a big solid. And if you haven't already, I invite you to join the Beast You Coaches Brotherhood. This is a society for guys who want to be elite youth football coaches and want to be around that network of coaches. Not to mention, I'm putting all of my resources into the program. So if you're interested in learning how to raise thousands of dollars for your program, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 even for your youth football program, I'm putting the sponsorship packages and the fundraising templates that I use to generate that kind of money for my youth football program. You just get it and make it your own. Just plug and play, put your team name, and you're going to be good to go. All of my playbooks, all my current playbooks and new playbooks are in the Brotherhood. So you have access to all of my playbooks. Also, you're going to have the opportunity to get mentorship from me, monthly mentorship from me in a group coaching setting. So if you're interested in joining the Coaches Brotherhood, the information is going to be in the description box below. All right. So with that being said, let's get into this video. So when you are selecting coaches, and we all need good coaches, or at least guys who are on board with what we're trying to do, there are 4 things that I've identified, though, that are signs that a coach is going to either give you problems in the near future, or they are what I call a Judas in the group, where they're going to betray you and try to sabotage your program. Okay, so I'm going to give you the 4 red flags that I've identified, and I'm going to show you how to avoid these type of coaches and what to do. All right. So number 1 is inconsistency. Okay. This is the one that I see more than just about any other right now. Is that you have a coach. He says he want to coach. He may have a son on the team, or he just may be inspired by the fact that there's a football team in his neighborhood and he want to be a part of it. So he said, hey, coach, can I be an assistant coach, or can I be a head coach of an age group, right? So you say, yeah, man, cool. They fill out the coaching code of conduct, all of that stuff. And before you know it, a month into it, the coach says, oh, I can't make it to practice today. I got to work. Or, hey, I can't make it to practice today. Got an emergency. It's something going on. So, and before you know it, coach missing 1 practice, turns into the coach missing 2 and 3 practices a month, to the point to where you barely see him. He pops up when he wants to pop up. And this is a problem. When a coach begins to show you inconsistency, you have to take action fast on that guy, okay? I'm telling you this from experience, because if you don't hold that coach accountable early, he's going to get worse and worse and worse. And then you're going to really see what his intentions are. You're going to begin to see him popping up whenever he wants to pop up. And when you got an inconsistent coach, you're going to have an inconsistent team. And then the parents going to see it. They're going to start barking to you, being the head coach and the president of your program. And now you got a toxic problem on your hand. If a coach is inconsistent, and you can put this in your coach's code of conduct, and mind you, you can get a template of my coach's code of conduct if you don't have one in the Brotherhood. All right. One thing you want to make sure that's in there is let them coaches know, look, if you miss more than 2 practices a week or unable to do it, you cannot be a head coach. And if you are an assistant coach, same principle. You can't miss 2 practices a week. Okay. If you work or something and you can't do it, I'm sorry, you just cannot be a part of this program as a coach, all right? And that may sound harsh to some of you guys, but I'm telling you, if you let that person show up inconsistently, it's going to seep through the culture of your program, and you're going to find your kids being inconsistent, your parents being inconsistent. That's the last thing you want to deal with is inconsistency, all right? Number two, an argumentative coach. Argumentative coach. And this is a big one. If you have a coach that's always asking you or always confronting you on the way that you lead your program, on the way that you call your plays, on your coaching philosophy, that's a huge problem, huge red flag. And you're going to find out you're going to have a miserable existence as a head coach or athletic director or president of your program when you got a coach that's always trying to have an argument with you, always trying to, gaslight you, piss you off, and always got something to say negative about what you do. Again, same exact problem. If parents see a coach arguing with you, or you always into it with this person, and your other coaches seeing you always into it with this person, guess what? It's going to happen. People are going to start arguing, fighting. That toxic energy, that toxic nature of an argumentative person is going to seep through the culture of your program. What do you need to do? You need to get rid of that coach as fast as you can, okay? You need to get rid of that coach faster than you need to get rid of the inconsistent coach. Because a coach that loves to argue, I guarantee you, in his private life, in his personal life, he loves to argue too. Same thing with the inconsistent coach. If you got an inconsistent coach, I guarantee you in his personal life, he's an inconsistent person as well. So you don't want that kind of person, whether they're inconsistent or argumentative, in your program. They're going to bring your program down. They're going to make the program toxic. By the way, all of these type of people will make your program toxic, okay? It's just different factors that come in play when it comes down to how to deal with these individuals, okay? So again, if you got an argumentative guy, I will try to get rid of him as fast as possible. And the things that I've done in the past is just say, look, I take that coach one-on-one, or, I always say nowadays it's good to have maybe one more coach as kind of a witness to what happened in place. And what you want to say to that coach is, listen, coach, I appreciate you being interested in the program and being a volunteer, as a coach. But I think at this point, our philosophies don't align, and there's going to be problems in the future as it relates to our relationship within the program. And with that being said, I think it's best for you to lead the program. And look, that argumentative coach is probably going to do what he loves to do, be argumentative. So what? Okay? All he's going to do be argumentative. He's going to be pissed off, but he's going to be on his way, and you don't have to deal with that problem. And yeah, he may spread rumors. He may talk crap. But, at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your program and for your kids, because last thing you want is to have a nightmare season, you fussing and fighting with him, parents starting to fuss and fight with the coaches or with the other parents. You don't want that. Trust me, you don't want it. I've been there before. All right, number 3, the questioning coach, okay? And this one you have to be careful with, okay? Because I got a saying as a coach is it's okay for somebody to question, why I do something, but it's a problem when you start to question my coaching philosophy or my leadership, okay? That's really important. And let me give you an example of that. It's okay if a coach come up to you and say, hey, coach, why do you run the BEAST formation, and why do you run it? Why you call tank right or tank left when you're running the BEAST formation? Okay, cool. He's trying to understand why I call certain things and understand terminology and things of that nature, right? It's different from a coach that comes to you and say, man, why you run the BEAST offense? It's not a real offense. That's a piece of crap. Why are you running it? I think we should run the spread, right? Like, that's the type of coach you don't want in your program, because philosophically, he don't believe in what you are doing and what you are running, especially if this questioning coach also becomes opinionated. And I probably should have put that on there, the opinionated coach. If you got a coach that's always questioning and putting his opinion into things that he should do, one of two things need to happen. Either that coach needs his own football team, and I am not saying make him a head coach of a branch of your program, but maybe he needs his own football team. He's ready for that. Or the worst thing is he don't agree with your coaching philosophy and he got a problem with it. And if that's the case, again, you have to let him go. Now, what I've seen with the questioning guys is that you have to be careful with them, because when they start questioning what you do, they're going to start talking to other coaches behind your back about what you do. And now they're poisoning the water, in your program. Now you got your other coaches looking at you side-eyed, looking at you a certain way, and now they're starting to question why you running certain things, especially if you lose some games. People show you in youth football, people show you who they really are when you start losing games. That's something I've learned. I mean, literally 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, our team was running the Beast offense. We're undefeated. We're beating teams by 40 points a game. And I still had people questioning, why am I running the Beast offense? Why am I not running something else? And I'm like, we're beating people 40 by 40 points a game. Like, what else do you want? What else do you need? Certain people are never satisfied, and certain people are always negative, okay? They're going to always go back to their personal life. They're always questioning things in their personal life. They're always negative. They're always, causing ruckus in their own life. So when they come to your program, guess what they cause? They cause problems. They cause ruckus. So if these guys are questioning everything you do, again, it's very important to understand the difference between somebody trying to question to understand, opposed to question to insult. It's very important, and just know the difference on that. And then lastly, the rebellious coach. This one is the worst of the worst in my book, okay? The rebellious coach. Because the rebellious coach, he won't do anything that you say. He won't follow the coach's creed. He won't show up on time. He's going to practice on days he want to practice. Now, if you got that in your program where, coaches can choose their practice days, that's fine. Now, I do that too, where I let coaches basically choose their own times, because in our league, the teams play on different days. We have our 6 through 8 crew, they're going to play on Mondays, our 9 and 10 crew on Tuesdays, and then our 11 and 12 on Thursdays in our league, okay? So the coaches kind of have to have a different day where we practice, okay? But like, if you got a coach to where you finding out that they're okay, this is a rule I got, where we all do practice at the same field. Maybe not the same day, but the same field. If you got coaches having their own practices in other parts of the town, other parts of the city, and you're telling them, look, we don't want to do that because we don't want to cause problems with other teams, things of that nature in other territories, right? And they still doing it anyway, that's a problem. That's a rebellious coach. Another sign of a rebellious coach is when we're running the Beast offense, or let's say you put him at a defensive coordinator position and you run the 4-4 Reaper defense, right? And now all of a sudden he want to totally gut out the defense that you established. Or he come to you and say, hey, coach, I got my own plays I want to run. I want to do my own plays, things of that nature. Hey, look out for this guy. Look out for this guy. Because basically what this guy is trying to do, he's trying to be the head coach. And it's really bad if you the head coach and now he's trying to bump heads to kind of sabotage or dethrone you, so to speak, as the head coach of your program. I've dealt with a couple of these types, and the first time I dealt with them was years ago. I didn't know how to deal with them, and it was a fucking headache. Excuse my language. It was a freaking headache the whole time. I'm going to get demonetized for that. But it was a freaking headache all year long, okay? So what I did was, when I know a guy is rebellious, I'm going to do one or two things. Because sometimes, like, I consider myself a rebel, you know, but sometimes if a guy is a rebel, you can give him his own team the next year. And, you know, because he's not a rebel in a toxic way. It's just time for him to be in a leadership role. Okay. You do have a lot of rebels who are leaders, but you do have rebels who are toxic. And these are the ones that I'm talking about. They're the worst. When they starting to try to sabotage your program, they're kind of all of these coaches in one. Okay. So if they're sabotaging your program, doing their own plays and crap like that, let them go. Bid them a goodbye, okay? Bid them a goodbye. Let them go, because they're going to hurt your program and cause a nightmare season. Because now the rebel is going to start being inconsistent to prove a point to you. He's doing it on purpose. Then he's going to start to argue with you on everything that you do. Then he's going to question why you're doing things, and he's going to always have an opinion about what you do. And then he's going to start gossiping to the other coaches and even the parents. It gets really bad when the coach start gossiping to the parents, because the parents are basically like fans. I look at parents like fans, right? When your fan base is against you, it's almost like nothing you do is right to them and satisfies them. Why? Because there's blood in the water. There's toxicity in the water. And that's the last thing that you want. All right, coach, that's it. That's what I got for this video. If you got value out of this video, again, hit that like button. Also, like I said before, in the brotherhood, we address this issue in the brotherhood. We talk about these things in the coaches brotherhood, so you don't have to deal with them. So we can identify, you know, what's the problem, what strategy you need to take care of these toxic coaches like this, because they're out there. And I hate to say it, there are more guys like this that's coaching youth football than stand-up guys who want to be elite, want to be great, who are good men and women who want to really give back and build a profitable youth football program. So again, if you're interested in joining the brotherhood, the link is going to be in the description. And I want you to join, you know, this exclusive group of youth football coaches. There's nothing like it nowhere else. And so we want to help you build a profitable youth football program where you don't have to deal with the stress, the headache, and spending your own money in running your football program, but you actually do what you love, which is coach student athletes, coach young people, and help them be the best versions of themselves and set them up for life. All right, guys, that's it. Until next time, be great, have fun, and beast out. Peace.